Hey everybody, this is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine, aka Vulcan Wolverine 2. It is July 29th, 2019. It is 5:51 a.m. in the morning. I woke up like last night at time did I wake up? Like 11:30 or something like that. I was gonna do a live stream, but I'm feeling so ripped up. Like I woke up and I went to Walmart to just get a couple of things, some water for Pepper and me, and some food and stuff, and like I was feeling pretty bad. Like my attackers really shred the left side of my body, where the vagus nerve and the trigeminal nerve run through the jaw and the head down to the foot, and then on the top of my head feels shredded. But I wanted to tell y'all something about that. You know, I woke up and I was feeling pretty sore, but Dave Case's CD and the grounding, kind of helped to buffer that, so it's not so bad. But then I was going to Walmart, and I had 30 minutes after I woke up and kind of took off my grounding and everything, and wasn't listening to Dave Case's CD for like 30 minutes in the Walmart shopping, and then on the way back and putting up the food and eating some food. It started to really like over on this left side, just this twisting pain where I couldn't even think, barely could think, and it just felt like everything was inflamed over here on this side. And I was like, all right, I got to get my grounding on, right? I got to get my grounding on my left leg. So I put on my 3 grounding straps on my left leg, um, and like within a couple of minutes, and I really want to stress this, guys, because I still see a lot of targeted individuals saying, like, no defenses work for me and I can't find anything. So I just want to say this, and I'm not gonna get frustrated and be like, you've got to use this, but within a couple of minutes, that pain on my left side, the inflammation, the tearing, and like I couldn't think, it started to subside. Like it started to subside. I still had the ringing, some ringing in my ears and stuff like that, a headache, but man, that the twisting pain and the inflammation pain, it was just like, oh, it was relieved. Like, and it was just a couple of minutes from putting the grounding straps on that left leg, touching the vagus nerve running through the leg. So I just wanted to start with that. I hope you guys are doing awesome. I hope you're doing awesome. I hope you're doing the best that you can be doing in the world. But I know we're targeted. This is a living nightmare that never ends. It's a living nightmare that never ends. I feel like a lump of meat, not even human. Like tonight I felt that way. Um, Trying to kind of figure out something to, I buffer it down, and if I wasn't using Dave Case CD and the grounding, the less EMF headgear, boy, I don't know what would I'd probably be like. My attacker on the V2K, he always says we got to put him away. We got to put him away. I'd probably be put away somewhere. If I didn't use this defense stuff. It's my less EMF. So what is it, 5 of these balaclavas, and then I think 5 and 5 balaclavas, and then 5 not the skull caps, but these things. It's like a little, they have little ear flaps on them. I forgot what they're called, but anyway, okay. So I'm sure a lot of you guys who watch my videos, you've probably seen this interview that Romola D did with Chief Damon Jones. Both of these interviews, and let me go to this one too. So this is the second one, report number 143, interview with Chief Damon Jones, updates and investigations. I don't see how this only has 1,000 views, because it's just bombshell information. It's a bombshell interview. He's a former police chief that has a lot of insider information on DHS Fusion Centers and DHS Fusion Centers' relationships with agencies like the CIA, the NSA, the FBI, the DOD, all these agencies that have contractors that actually do the targeting with the weapons. So these interviews are crucial. If you haven't seen these, and let me go to the other one too. I'll see what the report number was. Report number 138, interview with retired police chief Damon Jones on illegal targeting and helping TIs. Please, please go watch these if you haven't seen them. I just wanted to, well, there's something specific that I want to show on the second interview. Something very specific, and the title of title of the video is actually gonna, represent that, because it's something that I think gives us a lot more insight into how many targeted individuals there are just in the United States, and also something that targeted individuals in other countries need to look into. So if you haven't seen these, please go watch them. Everything is important. I was going to do just a live stream on the second interview, just going through it and commenting on the importance of. I still may do that. I don't know, or I may make some shorter videos like this, just kind of pinpointing some of the crucial things that I think that they talked about. Just kind of, it depends. It depends on how I'm feeling. I'm just, this whole time of targeting, I haven't been doing great, but it's been really, really horrifying. I know you guys are going through it too out there. But I get sick of myself saying it. There's tons of hopeful stuff coming up. There really is. There's real hopeful stuff coming up. I've got to be honest with you guys. There's so much damage going on to my body, my brain, that every day that passes, even though all these great things, and I'm going to, Dr. Michael Hoffer is seeing targeted individual patients, which is huge. In the rallies and everything like that, I get more and more hopeless every day. Not that this will end, right? I know that this will end and people will become aware of it, but I kind of worry that, I hate saying this stuff, this is just the way I feel. Remember, this is just the way I feel. It's not actual reality. God can work miracles, and he can turn situations that just feel like done. He can turn the tables on them in a second, and it can, good things can come out of it. But I feel like I might not make it through this, or I might still be alive, but my mind, I don't know, just some negative thoughts. Me and another targeted individual, me and a lot of targeted individuals talk about this, how, this is worse than death. This is way worse than death. I've said it, and this is a weird thought. I wish that these people would just come into my house and shot me, because then I could have died myself. This changes you so much. It messes with your mind so much, and the mind control is just, it's like, that's the only thing I can, it's bad. It's really bad. But let's get to the point of the video. Also, just real quick, guys, this is the hearing aid. See, it goes in like this. Now, I'm not going to play around with it now, but this little silver thing kind of fits on the ear, and it goes in. But I have so much stuff. It has the direct transcranial stimulation, and, Dave Case's CD. I have so much crap on my ears already that, because it didn't totally fix the V2K, I was kind of like, I'm not messing with that right now. I might do that later. But I just wanted to show y'all. You see? That's, what's this one, the left ear. Okay, let me get to this, guys. I wanted to kind of keep this just kind of short. So, let me go to the second interview Ramol did with Chief Damon Jones. And y'all listen to this part. You may have already seen it, but I'm gonna give my interpretation of it, because they're talking about numbers of national security letters that were, I guess, that were put out for citizens in the United States, right? And so this is, he said, okay, let me play it, and then I'll talk about it. All right, guys.
I forget, you had asked me about NSL, National Security Letters.
Yes.
And so I want to say that the Electronic Foundation, EFF,
Electronic Frontier Foundation.
Yes. For people that don't know, I recommend you go there and do some research on cases.
Okay, that's really important too, and I was going to look that up. I was going to maybe do a live stream tonight, but I just, feeling really horrible. But I was going to, look up the Electronic Frontier Foundation. I think that's what he just said. My memory's so bad, I've already forgotten. But we need to look that up too. Electronic Frontier Foundation. Let's hear that again, guys. Sorry about that. Let's hear that again.
But I before I forget, you had asked me about NSL, National Security Letters.
Yes.
And so I want to say that the Electronic Foundation, EFF.
Electronic Frontier Foundation.
Yes. For people that don't know, I recommend you go there and do some research on cases that they have presented, their point of view, and they're on the cutting edge. And I got a friend that's a part of that group, and he says, some of this research you want to do, Chief, go there and look it up. So some of this information I got there, I combined that with my other research so I could have it from two ways and build on it and then call sources. But a national security letter is where the FBI or other federal law enforcement agencies can make demand. That's keyword, demand. They refer to them as a law enforcement investigative tool similar to a subpoena, but it is not a subpoena. They can inform any company they want any data on a customer's use on things such as banking, telephone, internet usage. There's no limit on what they can request. Okay. And
they're absolutely running amok currently, all of these intelligence agencies, because they issue hundreds and thousands of these national security letters per year, right?
Oh, yes. Most companies found out turn over the information they asked just because they asked. But here's something else that the security letter puts in it, or an additional letter. They put a gag on the company. So,
that's right.
So let's just say you're using AT&T. I'll just throw them out there since they've been around a while. Say I'm one of these, I'm an FBI agent, and I says, thanks for Molis doing bad stuff. So I go over, either on phone or in person, and say, I'm an FBI agent. Here's a national security letter, and I need all her information you have. Just a moment, sir. And then they come back with either a lot of hard records or a disk or a combination. Is there anything else you need? No, that'll be fine. By the way, you're on a gag order. So if you call AT&T and say, hey, has anybody been asking about my records? No. They won't just say, we can't comment on that. They'll say, no, because they're on a gag. Well, a gag order is only lawful during a case, when a criminal case is going on. In other words,
I kind of started at the wrong point, so it's like a couple more minutes, and he gets to the part that I wanted to talk about, the correlation between these national security letters and targeted individuals. And I think that if you are a targeted individual, then you have a national security letter. And Ramul asked a good question about that, but this is something that me as a target individual and a lot of target individuals ask, like, how many of us are there? So this would be very informative about the number of targeted individuals in the United States. So let's play it just a couple more minutes, and then they're going to talk about it. So.
Judges have many times told people when they're walking out, the jury, the people that was there in the galleries, there's a gag order on this case. Well, he can say that, but he's outside of his scope of authority, because the gag is to protect the integrity of the trial. Once the trial is over, the gag order is removed, but they'll tell people that. So, you got the...
But in this case, it's very different. You've got the FBI doing this kind of thing for years and years and years on people, supposedly opening investigations which never end, apparently.
Yes, and here's something I'm told. Because the process is secret, and because the companies are scared about violating the law, that they're on this presumed gag order, the process is ripe for abuse. And not only is it ripe, it occurs on a daily basis. Now, here's some information.
Yeah, I mean, things are so corrupt at this point that it's like, I mean, police are participating in rape and murder, and, these agencies and private contractors are engaging in murder. They're engaging in false flagging and murdering innocent citizens. Like, and this is in every country, so it's like corruption is it's a very tame word for what we're dealing with here. It's out of control Satanism. I just, we got to just say it's out of control Satanism. And I'm going to well, let's let it go for a little while longer, because I wanted to get to those numbers, because it was a little bit unclear to me how many of these national security letters from after 9/11 were put out, and I want to tell y'all what I think he's saying. So give it a second, guys. This is a great interview, though. Please, everybody, spread these two interviews. Spread them on Facebook. Spread them on Twitter. This interview should have way more than 1,000 views by now. This is bombshell information. We need to get help from this man. There's going to be more like him too. This is just like Dr. Hoffer helping targeted individuals. This police chief coming out and spilling the beans on a lot of this stuff and giving us insight into DHS fusion centers and their relationships to these agencies, and targeting with directed energy weapons and neuro weapons. It's a sign. It's a not a sign, but it's a sign of like more to come. More to come. It just takes one person to step out, and then more to follow. And I think there's more. There's more people in law enforcement, and there's more doctors that are willing to help. They're just hard to find. You know what I'm saying?
Information: a judge does not have to approve an NSL national security letter or give an accompanied gag order. So the judiciary's out of it. Under the statutes, the only occasion which a judge is required to review an NSL is if the recipient, being you, me, whoever, files a legal challenge. Okay? There's over 300,000. Okay, we're over 250,000 that have been
Okay, so he said there's. Let's wait. Let him finish. I'm
issued
sorry.
in the last 10 years, or since 2009. 300,000.
Right.
Okay.
And
now,
apparently hundreds of thousands every year.
yes, it's going up and up, but
Okay, so what I got from that is, like, from after 9/11 to 2009, there were 250,000 national security letters. I guess you'd call it released or put out for people, right? And then from 2009 to 2019, there were over 300,000 national security letters. Now, so that'd be about 550,000 national security letters from from 2001 to 2019. So this is my thoughts on it, and I want to hear you guys. You guys comment on this in the chat. I think that correlates. Maybe not. Okay, so about 550,000 plus and growing. So there's more than that targeted individuals in the United States alone. Now, all those people, like that 550 to 600,000 and growing, maybe more than that, but around there, maybe not everybody is targeted with directed energy weapons and neuro weapons, or they don't know that they're being remote neural monitored, but they're getting some kind of direct surveillance, not like the huge web of surveillance that's just surveilling everybody, but it's a purposeful, direct surveillance, gang stalking, or targeted by directed energy weapons and neuro weapons, or a combination of all three, right? So maybe not all those people are getting as hard targeted as like me and some of you guys by the neuro weapons and the gang stalking all the time, but specifically directed, purposeful surveillance and maybe remote neural monitoring, and they don't know about it, But one of those three, or a combination of all three, about 600,000 from 2001. and pulling in more. It's like growing almost exponentially. So that's what I got out of that. I'm not sure, because he was like, oh well, there's 250,000, and I'm not sure if maybe that was like the same number he was dealing with, but it seems like up till 2009 there were already 250,000. Then there's 300,000 more from 2009 to 2019. That's what I got out of what he said. And then Ramola said, like, and then hundreds of thousands every year, or 100,000 every year, or something like that. So I think that, my thoughts on that is that there's a correlation there. There's a correlation between who a national security letter is written out for, because then the agencies and the contractors that are doing this torture and experimentation, the police, the law enforcement, and DHS fusion centers, right? Then they can patrol and surveil those citizens with national security letters. And since it's a national security letter, if we try and check on it, they're like, oh no, there's nothing on your record. And they literally have to lie. They literally, like, if we call them and we say, hey, is there anything on my record? They literally, because it's a national security letter, they say, no, your record's clean. But then they're still torturing with directed energy weapons, still surveilling, still gang stalking. Unbelievable, right? I mean, just, this stuff is incredibly insane. I don't know how society hasn't crumbled. Yeah, I guess it has. In a way, right? The system's completely failed in my eyes. I want to live in this condo and, eat food still and use the system to live, but I just, it's completely failed. Completely corrupt. If people at random, they're like, oh, well, we gotta feed meat to the grinder. Somebody asked what that meant the other day. We just gotta throw in people to these research programs, and we need to surveil people and say that we're catching terrorists and stuff to keep the money rolling in, to justify DHS fusion centers, and to really hurt people, to false flag them, and justify the corruption, justify the evil of what they're doing, by putting it all on innocent people. So let's let them talk a little bit more. Ramola asks a great question, like, how do we get that? How do we find out about that, right? Because there are some people, only three national security letters have been challenged in court. That's what I'm getting. Maybe I'm misremembering that. Let's listen a little bit more, and I think they talk about this right here. How many have been challenged?
The USA Patriot Act, prior to its being issued, there had only been 8,500 national security letters. So that tells you it's an explosion.
All right, so up until the Patriot Act, only like 8,000 in our whole history of America, right? And this is just in America. So this isn't targeted individuals all over the world. But then 250,000 from 2001 to 2009, 2009 to 2019, 300,000 more, and then it's just like people are getting roped in. And there's like on record they say there's like 70 something DHS fusion centers, but in reality there's like a couple hundred. So they just lie about that stuff. I kind of got off track here. They talk about something really important coming up, so I do want to play it for like another minute.
Absolutely, and it's all connected with this targeting explosion as well.
Yes,
and
they say that the reasoning behind the national security letters and the Patriot Act is to protect. These are their words: protect against international terrorism or clandestine intelligence activities,
which they are currently now conducting against the people of the country.
And let me tell you this. If there's anybody in the world that says, why would 9/11 be a false flag? Why would they destroy? Why would the United States, the leadership in the United States, have participated in bringing down those buildings and doing that, flying those planes into buildings and blowing up those buildings with bombs and try and blame it on Osama bin Laden. Why would they do that? Well, look at this. Look at this. Self-explanatory. If anybody ever, I don't think there's anybody in the world who questions that anymore. Why they would have done that huge false flag. But here you go. Here you go. Here it is. Right here. You know.
Right. An example of a record, raw data such as emails, phone calls, are not legally be able to read the email or to listen to the phone call. They can only say on this date, this time, the call went from here to here, and then calls went from there to here. So they can kind of connect the dots. And the Privacy Act, which was 18 USC 2709, it was amended because of the Patriot Act, because it guaranteed privacy, and they rolled it back. Then you got the National Security Act that was 50 USC 30.
Okay, guys, that's pretty much what I wanted to show y'all from this. I kind of wanted, because he said somewhere in this interview, he said only 3 national security papers were challenged in court. So it's very hard to find out if you got one of these. Like, and Ramola asked, how do we find out? He didn't really give an answer to that. So I think it would be a good idea for us to start trying to figure out, if we've got one of these and challenging them in court. But I mean, easier said than done, right? I also do want to show you all this. I wanted to go to Targeted Justice website real quick and just read their estimation. Many respected medical doctors, Dr. John Hall, MD, Dr. Daniel Leibowitz, MD, Dr. Edward Spencer, MD, Dr. Beatrice Guillaume, MD, and government scientists have confirmed that the Targeted Individuals Program is real. It's so real. Oh, it's so real. Including former CIA and FBI agents. Sworn affidavits from FBI agents Ted Gunderson and Gerald Sosby are part of this evidence. Dr. Daniel Leibowitz, MD, has provided testimony before a Senate committee in 2014. These are also considered crimes against humanity, systematic attack against the civilian population, and war crimes, Article 32 of the Geneva Convention. It is estimated there are about 170,000 targeted individuals in the United States and more than 1 million worldwide. So, I'm looking at their estimation. Then then we're hearing that there's about around 550,000. Well, plus 8,000. 550,000 to 600,000. A little bit more. Probably more than that right now. Probably like 700,000 or something like that. National security letters that correlate with targeted individuals. That sounds about right to me, just in the United States alone. So you think about it, like targeted individuals in other countries, there has to be some kind of equivalent. There has to be some kind of equivalent in your country of a national security letter that is put out on you, so that these agencies in your country, these contractors in your country, can utilize DHS fusion centers. DHS fusion centers are worldwide, right? They share information worldwide. That's why if I go to England, I'm still going to get targeted and I'm still going to get gang stalked, because the DHS fusion centers in that area are going to do the stalking to me, worldwide stalking. But the national security letter would give these agencies and these murderers, give these murderers the ability to get law enforcement to do the stalking and community policing, whatever stalking a person of interest, harassment, gang stalk, whatever you want to call it, criminal abuse. Criminal abuse is what we'll call it. So I'm thinking that 170,000 is the estimate the Targeted Justice gives, but I think we need to maybe update that estimate. In the United States, it's around 600,000. I think I'm going to do in the title of the video, 550,000 plus targeted individuals in the United States alone. I did want to show one other thing, guys, and I'm going to kind of go over some things in this next video. But I do just want to remind y'all, and check out Targeted Justice's website, their webpage, because they have some good kind of they have this good diagram that I think is probably very, very close to how it actually works on the Targeted Justice website. Woo, not doing good. Okay, it's really, really bad. This is just really evil and horrible. I'm thinking I might go to a I might have to. I don't know. I'm gonna try and be patient for Dr. Michael Hoffer and just try some things to make myself feel better, heal my body. I'll probably do a video soon on healing and just pray for healing, and but I think I'm gonna have to go to a maxillofacial surgeon at some point in time. I do want to play this real quick because it kind of gives you an insight into why people don't want to pay attention to this. This doctor, I forgot his name, but I think they'll show the name on the street. But this is TrueStream Media. Please go every video they do. I like it. I give it a thumbs up before I even watch it because they're just such good journalists. Ramola is also. But this doctor kind of sums it up, why it's so hard to talk to people about this, why everybody kind of wants to keep quiet. I thought it was just like, boom, on point. So let me play this real quick before I end the video.
I know something about this tendency to abuse children. In the 1970s, I stopped through years of reform work, operations on little black children in Mississippi, with electrodes hanging out of their heads. It was very hard to get anybody even interested in it. Maybe because it's so terrible. What came?
Okay, and I'm not sure who his name is. I really want to find. Maybe they have his name in the description. Dr. Peter Breggin. So he's done a lot of activism and stopped a lot of horrible brain experimentation, destroying the brains of children, burning holes in people's brains. He's worked to stop a lot of that experimentation that has led to remote neuroweapons experimentation, which is what a lot of targeted individuals, the majority of targeted individuals, have happening to them. But I thought that really summed it up. I saw that and I was like, yeah. I mean, that's, people don't want to hear it because it's so effing terrible, but we have to live it 24 hours a day, so there's no choice. And people are listening. It's hard to see it. It's when you're living it and you're isolated from it, and just so painful. I mean, my attackers, ripping up the side of my head. And also in this video, I'm going to do a separate video on it, but this ADHD device, it stimulates the trigeminal nerve. The trigeminal nerve to actually affect the frontal lobe of the brain. And I've actually been diagnosed many years ago when I was having problems with my jaw. This is before the high-pitched sound, before the V2K, before the overt, I know I'm being hit with weapons, but I was experimenting on a long time before that without the overt. Yeah, I was like in another kind of protocol. And twisting my vagus nerve and inflammation up in my jaw, and I was diagnosed with trigeminal neuralgia. I won't go into the details of it, but and it's a horrifying thing. When I don't have my defenses on, my attackers, either through a non-consensual implant in my teeth or in my sinus or somewhere can stimulate massive amounts of pain to the external part, like the vagus nerve and the trigeminal nerve ripping up the side of my head, and then they're doing remote neural manipulation on a neuronal level. I mean, these are people, these people who target us and use these microwave weapons. They have so much power to just destroy your life and destroy your brain, and just do it forever. never stop. Never stop. And of course, the automated weapon systems is horrifying. And y'all don't need me to tell y'all that. Okay, so and I want to put up some more hopeful stuff because I need healing and I need hope. A lot of the things, take what I say about how I feel negatively with a grain of salt, because there really is a lot of hope out there, but it gets a little bit harder to think that this is all just going to turn out okay, as days go on, and how bad this is, and how stupid people are. I mean, and how evil some smart people are in positions of power. Uh, but that's why we've got to cling to God. We've got to cling to miracles, and in that way, everything can be turned around in a real sense. So it's the physical mind, the physical body. They get very, very depressed sometimes. I think for all of us, we got to go deeper. We've got to go deeper. Our heart, our spirit. I'm telling myself that because I'm just feeling really negative, But I wanted to show you all that because I know that targeted individuals, we always kind of ask how many of us are there, And so I'd say, if there's like 600,000, around 600,000 in the United States alone, that means that a couple of million in the world. But you think about like, I don't know, I know it's like, was it like 400 million people in the United States? 600,000, even a million people, it's not even 1%. So that's the problem. I think if they do this kind of horrific torture and horrific harassment, horrific surveillance, and just taking away people's rights and murdering them to like not even 1%, it's hard for the rest of the people to give a damn. But they are. And it's about all of us, because people are just getting roped into this program, right? That's the point of this video, to show they're just pulling in more and more people. But anyway, guys, okay, I'm gonna end this video. Leave a comment. Definitely, definitely give a thumbs up to this video. Please share Ramola's video, those 2 interviews. Please share those. I shared them on Facebook and Twitter. But get them out, because those 2 videos should have way more than 1,000 views. I really think that is maybe people see the title and don't understand how important it is. I think that's a big thing on YouTube. They might not understand how bombshell those interviews are, because the title is like interview, and they might not know how important the information is. But like we've got to promote that. We've got to help promote that really important information. All right, guys, I love y'all. More to come, definitely. More to come. I hope y'all are doing awesome. I hope you're doing awesome and feel great, and don't feel the targeting at all. Maybe we should start saying stuff like that. Just be really positive. I'm really trying. But when you feel just like a lump of flesh, and I was talking to a targeted individual the other night, and hey, it's hard to talk about this private stuff that human beings, don't really want to talk about. You don't want to talk about your ailments and stuff like that, but this is something different, where it's like weapons attacks and ripping up the mind, so it's different. You need to let people know. I was just like, and this is, I don't know, it feels a lot worse than just saying it. Saying it, it's like, oh yeah, it's not too. But I feel like I've lost my mojo. Like in Austin Powers, when he loses his mojo, like his energy, who he is. I feel a little bit that way. It's not going to be forever, and my attackers are doing some very sophisticated stuff with the remote neural manipulation. So I'm going to cheer up and be positive as much as I can. I hope you guys are too. I love y'all. I'll probably do live stream soon when I get going again. I don't know, guys. I gotta take care of myself. And I want to help people. Like I want to help you guys get through what y'all need to do, but I can't. I've got to figure out some way to, kind of get back up, because it's been really bad. My attackers, I'll just say it. They do have a protocol of destroying my jaw and my face and my head because I'm speaking out. I mean, I put out really good information, and it's hard though when you're like, it feels like your face is all mashed up and stuff. So they make a very, very concentrated, focused effort to create twisting and inflammation, in my face, my jaw, and it's all stimulation. I really don't know. I'm gonna have to get some imaging done, but that's like, it's almost impossible to find a doctor who will do some honest imaging and see if you have a non-consensual implant, because it's a governmental thing and they don't want to touch that, right? They'll get in trouble. Dr. Hoffer, maybe there's more hope there. Maybe he can do imaging himself, or he can point me in the right direction of a doctor who can, and I'll definitely let y'all know about that. But it's so far, it's so far away that I'm like, oh, I wish it was sooner. All right, guys, I love y'all. And definitely more to come. I'm not sure. I'm gonna just try and take care of myself and start feeling a little bit better. The defenses do help. I'm telling y'all, man. Right when I put on the grounding on my left leg, like it relieved. I wouldn't have been able to even make this video if I wouldn't have done that. And I don't know. They'd probably be doing. I remember before I started grounding in Dave Case's CD, and I had so much pain. It's like hard to even feel human, And I know a lot of you guys feel that way, but I just say it all the time. There's a lot of hope. There's a lot of miracles that God can do that I can't see. I can't see it with my human mind. It's hard to see. It's hard to see, but I do have faith. And there's some great things along the way. You guys are great. I really want to thank all you guys who watch my videos and come in the chat and leave intelligent comments, my moderators and things like that. Y'all really just supportive, and I want to support y'all in the same way, and targeted individuals that need help. There was a targeted individual that I think they left a comment and said they sent an email to me, and I never got back to them. They were kind of mad. Just keep in mind, I'm going through this too, guys. I try and respond to as many people as I can, but we need to create more nodes, like little nodes of information. Targeted individuals creating nodes of groups and stuff like that, so that it takes pressure off of just certain individuals, right? And that a lot of people can be helping people, and the pressure's off, and there's a lot of different groups trying to help, and that's happening. All right, guys. So God bless you guys. God give you strength and peace and healing. God give us all strength and peace and healing in our families and all the good people of the earth. And God, if you could just wipe those evil people away, that'd be great. All right, guys. I'll see y'all in the next one. I love y'all. Please take care. Please take care, guys. And I'll see you on the next one.